Let's get it. All right, so this video is inspired by a comment on some thing on YouTube. Anyway, it was a post. It was a picture post, and it was about people that quit their jobs. And just to give you the quick rundown, it's basically the comment section is basically people talking about their opinion on working at a job and how long you should work. People that leave their jobs, you know, in the original post, the guy's like, I quit my job 3 different times this year and I made this much, even more, and even more. And other people are like, well, that's stupid. That's not how you play the game. You should keep a job, you know, get promotions, get raises throughout years. And so that's the post. And this video is inspired because there's a guy who commented something under my comment. I keep saying comment. This is my second video. I said a comment a lot in the last video. Anyway, and my reply, my comment, I keep saying that word. You have no idea. I made another video before this. I said it too much. It's fucking me up. Anyway, and I said that you should follow your bliss. Your number one priority should be your own happiness. So if you're working at a job and you're no longer in alignment with the job, you don't like the job. You're not serving you or anybody anything. And this is an education. There's a platform of an education that you should have, which answers why that is true, but you don't get it in school. So, like I said in my other videos, I got a privilege. I got taught by a billionaire. So all these people that work for this guy, you know, they have a different education, which is you follow your feelings. Because a person who's hooked up to source is a million times stronger than ones who are not. Your gut intuition is never wrong. Though your mind can play tricks on you about it. So anyway, we're going to get into it. Should you work at a job? I'll tell you what he commented in a second. Should you work at a job, you know, for years and just keep making more money? Doesn't that make more sense with your mind than quitting? And you should be following your gut. You should be having dreams and goals and going after them. And at the end of the day, the real reason why you work at a job is because you're under the illusion that making money equals happiness, but here you are not happy. You make money, you'd be like, no, I make money so I can have a home. You have a home because you feel more secure in a home than living on the streets. But the truth is you create your reality with how you feel. This is the education that you may not have. Just bear with me through this video. It's okay if you disagree. But like I said, I got lots of evidence in my own life proving that I felt a certain way. I went out. There's no evidence at all that it could work out, and it worked out. Anyway, and the guy's comment back was replying to my, well, you know, you should follow your feelings. Number one priority is, and this is a great comment. This is like most people, is some of us have families and focus on job security. It was his comment. And that's a perfect reply. There really isn't a better response to what I said. I actually was expecting something like that. I really was. I honest to God, I really was expecting someone to be like, well, some of us have fucking kids, dog, and we don't want to quit our job and have our kids on the street because that would make us a piece of shit. And like I responded back, well, that's because you don't believe in your emotional guidance system. You have lack of faith. You don't have evidence of you believing something and then it working out. And there's an advantage to people that do go through experiences. Like, for instance, I was in Missouri and I wanted to go see David Icke's movie. It's relevant. Point is, I'm in Missouri and I had a movie that I bought a ticket to in California, 1,800 miles away. And months went by and there I am 26 hours before his movie plays, and I can feel me in California. I've never been west of Missouri, but I can feel me there. I can feel it. When I think about me being there for that movie, I can feel it. I feel good, feel lined up. I don't have doubts. I know I'm going to make it. But the evidence in my life is, bro, you have $10 in your wallet. I don't have anything in there right now. But I had one $10 bill or 2 5s, one or the other. That's it. And one line above E on my gas tank. That's all I have. That's all my mind can use to, that's all my mind can perceive. And so I was waiting near the mailbox for my taxes to come in, because in my mind, I'm trying to use my mind to justify, right? That's what we all do. We try to use our mind to justify how it'll work out. which would bring us what? A feeling of security. I'm just saying you can feel secure and not have it like a crazy person, really, and not have any logical way of how it'll work out, and it'll work out. That's the magic of life. And for people that know this, either because they're taught by other people in rich societies or whatever, it's a universal law. People that know this have a head advantage. They have a head start at a younger age. They have a bigger advantage. Anyway, and it's good to have experiences of no evidence outside of you and you make it anyway, like my story. I'm waiting near the mailbox. Mailman comes in. I say, hey, I don't have time. I wasn't being rude, but I was like, hey, I don't have time for you to go do your whole route because I know that if I leave right now in my car and if somehow we had enough gas, which we don't, to make it, if me and my girlfriend leave right now and we both took turns, we could make it from Missouri to California if we drove nonstop. So it's possible. It's not like I have to time travel. It's not like the movie was yesterday. My belief level of being able to watch it's like 0. No, I believe I can watch it. And the little bit that my mind can grab a hold of why I could believe that is, well, technically, if I drove right now, nonstop, going 90, I would be able to make it. And I did. But the guy, look, when I asked him about the mail, he looked, couldn't find anything for me. He said, sorry, kid. And I said, I don't care. I'm going to go anyway. I made a decision. Everything changes when you make a decision. Everything changes on the planet when you make a decision. Other people's decisions are go where or what they do, what intersection when you meet them, all of it changes. So I made a decision. My girlfriend texted a friend. She was blown away I was going to go to California, so she filled up my tank for free. So, cool. So we drove off, made it like just a few hundreds of miles out of 1,800 before I ran out of gas. And then I put my $10 in, ran out of gas. I was in Kansas, one state over. And then my girlfriend's brother happened to live in Kansas in the hood, and he was blown away that I was going to try to go all the way to Cali with nothing. So he filled up my tank and gave me money. And we made it all the way to fucking New Mexico at a Walmart. And I started panhandling, made $2. It looked impossible. And then my taxes came in. And I got money sent to me. And I made it on time for that movie to be canceled. But what an experience. Anyway, so the point of that whole story is I felt good. It worked out. Now, a lot of people in life are trapped based on the whole family dynamic, which is the same trap that's been going on for generations, which is you have, and I will admit it's harder for you to believe that it's all going to work out because you care about other people's influence on how they perceive you as a parent. Like if you quit your job, but you know it's all going to work out and you're going to get a better job and you're going to be happier. But by the way, this guy, I just asked this dude this question. I don't know what his answer is yet. I asked him, are you happy with where you are? Because it doesn't mean you have to quit your job. You can work at a job for 30 years and love your life. I'm not kidding. That doesn't matter. At the end of the day, the real reason why you make money and do all these things is for a feeling. It really is. You can argue with me, but the real reason why you do everything is for a feeling. And you can control how you feel regardless of what you do. And technically, your feelings control your reality. A lot of people have it the other way around, the inverted way, which is your reality controls how you feel. You don't make enough money? Well, that means you're, less than me, the other guy who's richer. That's not how it is. I can look at celebrities and I go, oh, I'm so much happier I'm me than that person. I feel better. There's literal celebrities. I don't give a fuck if I'm not famous. I live a better life. I can see it. Even though they have more money and everything. Would I rather be me or P. Diddy? Me all day. Even before he got caught. Me all day. I don't even know any of his songs. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, so my point is, if you're working at a job, first check and see if there's anything you can do to feel better now that doesn't have to do with you quitting your job. Because a lot of people think they use their mind, as I just said, to figure out what we call on the radar screen. That's literally how I was taught by a billionaire. You have a radar screen. You're in your ship. You have a radar screen. That's all the things that you can foresee in your life. That's what your mind can do. But we know that there's a whole world out there that you're not picking up on your radar screen. There's millions and billions of variables that are at play in reality that we can't pick up on with our mind. But we can pick up on it with our gut, because our gut intuition is never wrong. This kind of gets into a lot of deep topics. But the real truth is, when you follow your gut and you get a result, and you see that it works, your belief goes up higher. And then you can achieve bigger things. And a lot of people are stuck because of school and the way they program you. They don't give you this. They just don't give you the education. And it's not just that they lie to you about how things work. It's literally they just don't give you that education. If you go to Harvard or Yale, if you go to Yale, you can join the Skull and Bone Society, which will be a group of people that tell you, hey, this is how life works. This is what they would talk about. And then you would get to meet other very successful people whose dads own or like titans of industry that do this. And they go, yeah, this is how it works. And your belief level goes up when you meet people that believe a certain thing. Just like when you're at a job and everybody's like, oh, no, that never happened. Oh, I think they're going to take us again on the the fucking whatever. They just get into a big ramble of negativity and people believe it. And then they got more of it in their life. And here you come in with your positive attitude, they knock you down. The truth is, you can just stay positive and you get your result, and they'll just be dumbfounded. I've had that happen so many times. Like I've made people believers of law of attraction just by working at a job, which is kind of why I know, for me personally, the universe sends me to different jobs. My actual job is to be like a spiritual teacher. It's so crazy. Like I worked at a McDonald's. I got 2 people to sit here and listen to what I say. One guy loved cars. All of a sudden, like a $100,000 car drove into the fucking the Taco Bell drive-thru, and he looked at me and was like, "Dude, no fucking way." And that guy was like, "Bro, there's a car show." And he's like, "Dude, you hear he's talking about a car show?" And I was just telling him, whatever you want can happen. And then I went to his name's Jason, and he lived in an apartment complex, and across I'm not going to say it was a $100,000 car, because I don't know how cars work, but it was, just looking at the car, I was like, oh God, it might have been, I don't know, but it was up there. It was a fucking very expensive car. And I remember when I went to his apartment, there was another car across from him where apparently the dude's buddy, I don't know what was going on with him, but he lent him his car. So in his house, when he's sleeping in his bed, when he looks out the window, the car directly across from his fucking, on the street, in the parking lot, is like the most expensive car you would ever see in an apartment complex. It's like seeing a Lambo. It was like seeing a Lambo in an apartment complex. It made no sense. But he created it. And once I opened his eyes to it, his belief went up because, I got evidence, listen to me. I don't doubt any of this. And so when you decide to tap in, boom, you'll see it in your own life. So anyway, to get back to relevantly to jobs, I have to tangent off to this because you need this education. This is why so many people are tripped up. It's not a topic about just jobs. It's about you knowing that you can do whatever you want in your life. And his comment was, well, it just seems stupid using your mind to quit a job when I got promotions and raises. That's okay. You don't have to quit your job. I'm just saying, like, for me, right now, I want to go mountain climbing and bungee jumping. Well, I'm in Missouri. There ain't mountains to climb, and the highest bungee jump locations here in Colorado. Perfect. Now I'm here, and now I'm looking at a job making, $18 an hour. I don't give a fuck. I'm happy. I'm doing things that I want to do. And if I had kids, I don't. I'm living in my car. Fair enough. But like I said, you don't have to quit your job blindly. You can just feel good now. If you felt good now at your shit job, this is the goal. You shouldn't wait until things change. You need to feel good now anyway. If I can feel good in the hood of St. Louis with people trying to kill me in gangs, literally happened. They knew where I lived. I felt good anyway. That guy got shot. That motherfucker was 35 years old, never been shot. He's like, you should join our gang. And I kind of was like, no, I'm good. And he's like, oh yeah, I know where you live. That was kind of the response. Like, you're going to be a body bag for me. You're going to be a meat shield for me. And if you don't, threats. And I felt good. I go a week later, I'm at the park at Hyde Park in St. Louis. And what happened? Oh, you got shot in the gut? It literally happened. I was laughing so hard. I was like, yeah, that's what you get. You little bitch. That's what you get threatening me. Because if you feel good, law of attraction plays out to where you get this feeling again. You put out fear, that dog's going to bite you. You put out fear, you're going to get shot. Like, that's how that works. So if you're at your job and you're thinking of leaving and you've been there for 10 years, let me ask you something. Or however long, let me ask you something. What's your belief right now that you'll be happy quitting this job and getting a different job? Low? Ooh. well, then that's what will happen. So how do you get over that? You got to enjoy where you're at. If you have a relationship and you're dating somebody and they suck, and you decide to break up with them and get a better relationship, if you're focusing on the negatives of the person you're with, you'll just attract another one. I've seen it. I remember I got a friend, I'm not gonna say his name. He literally attracted a girl with long black hair 7 times in a row, and they were all narcissistical, I'll fuck your friend when you're not in the room people. It blew my mind. Like, you could put them in a lineup. I just started laughing so hard. Which one of these girls stole your money? Well, they all did, but just be like, fuck. We look just alike. Because that guy was focusing, and I remember when he manifested a girl that looked nothing like any of them, and that alone told me he changed his perception, and then they've been dating for years. Anyway, and I could tell, like, something shifted within him, and then this person magnetized into their life. So if you're working at a shit job and you don't like it, you need to feel good about it. If you're in a relationship and you don't like it, you need to feel good about it, and 2 things will happen in both same scenarios. Or maybe it's 3, whatever. But this is what's going to happen. Either A, you're working at this job, and you feel better. You decide to feel better. You go on walks, you eat healthy, you have more fun at home. You're at the job, you're talking to yourself in your head. You got a big ball of positive things you can go do. Oh, there's a rock concert down the street and it's on the time I'm off. You're thinking of things. It doesn't even matter if it's job related, but you're feeling good while at the job. Either A, they'll fire you, or you'll quit. You'll either quit because they will push you out. Like, I'm not kidding. I worked at jobs where the negativity and the fakeness was such a low vibe, I just couldn't work here. I had to quit. Like, the universe was screaming, and it all worked out great. I mean, seriously. But either A, that'll happen, or they'll fire you. They could fire you. That happens. They'll see you be happy. Your boss won't like it, whatever. Don't get all caught up in it, because it's really just redirecting you to where you want to be, where you want to go, it's redirecting you to what you put out. So if you're putting out good vibes and they fire you or you quit, whatever, you're going to get a better place. Now, that could happen, or B, whatever. As I said, it was 2 or 3. It's really just 2 things. But if you count quitting or losing or fired different, whatever, it doesn't matter. Either A, you stay at the job, or you don't stay at the job. That's really what I meant. Just like with the relationship. Either A, you stay with the relationship, or you don't, right? It's like the only 2 possibilities. So either A, you stay at the job, you stay in the relationship, or B, you leave. So if you leave, if you're at the job and you're feeling good, I said it wrong. Or I meant B. God damn it. Or the other option is you raise your vibe and the job becomes fun again. You're either going to stay or you're going to go. So either you leave and you get a better job because you'll manifest that which made you feel good, or you'll just win a lump sum of money like I did. I made $10,000 in the stock market. That's a long story. And I got a car with it. I'm like a dumb kid, and yet here I am, made money, thin air, $10,000. And I got a brand new car with it, and got to the destination I was heading to, and everything. That's a whole other story. But that's a great example. You don't know, but you do know how you want to feel when you get there. So you have a shitty relationship. Again, only 2 things can happen. You're either going to stay in it or not. You raise your vibe. She's still being a bitch. She's being even more of a bitch. Every day you're happy as fuck. She's being nagging in your face. She's screaming at you now. But you just still stay happy, and you love her anyway. She'll either be repelled. You have no idea what I mean by that. Like, she could literally get in a car wreck. You know, because some people are dating horrible people, and you know, and they're honestly being protected by your vibe, because you're a good person, and the universe ain't gonna hurt this person that you care about. Though they might be fucking your best friend, and the universe is like, well, they do have karma, but here you are attached to them, and you don't deserve to see that. And I have stories of that too, where I disconnected from people and watched as the karma hit them hard. Like that person's car that exploded into fire across the street from me that tried to fight me. 6 people tried to fight me, and then like a month later, I got it on video. A month later, I'm sitting there with a fire extinguisher watching their car burst into flames, and I'm like, I'm not using this on your fucking car. I got it in my hand, but I'm not using it. There's nobody in the car. They all lived, but they tried to hurt me. They threw a big rock at me. They physically tried to hurt me. They tried to run me over with their car, and here I am in the exact same spot in the middle of the street, the exact same spot. and their car's on fire. And I worked at a job across the street, Taco Bell, got a fucking fire extinguisher. Karma is real. You get what you put out. Anyway, so if you're working at a job or you have a relationship, be happy now and make your decision. Don't feel bad quitting, because all you're going to do is, if you're working at a job for 6-10 years, whatever, and then you decide to quit, but you don't believe it's going to work out, the universe will prove to you, yeah, it's not going to work out. And parents and your parents and other people are like, I can't believe he would quit. He has kids. What a shitty guy. I believed in Jerry more than that. Like, seriously, you're just going to be tapping into that. But if you know it's all going to work out, maybe you do, in the beginning, have to be at your job and line up another job. That might happen. And then you feel good at quitting. I'm just saying that the real secret is you need to feel good now. And if you do, it'll all work out anyway. Don't put a time limit on it. That's a big tip. Don't expect, because that'll creep up on you. Like let's say you did quit your job and you felt good. You got enough money for the next month. And it's a week later, 2 weeks later, you got enough money for another week, 4 days, 2 days. You're just sitting there focusing on lack. And you'll get more of it, and then you will be out on the street. So this is 5 minutes to learn, a lifetime to master. I know this video is long. Sorry for stumbling on my words there. I just had a little moment. But that's really the only two things that can happen. You're going to stay or you're going to go. Same thing with relationships. If you're looking at the positives in the person, they're either going to see your effort and 100% and re-fall in love with you. And it will work. I'm not kidding. It'll all work out. Or they'll be repelled. And I mean that in a million different ways, but at the end of the day, you'll see it just like that, which is, they got a new job, they move somewhere else. It might not even play out negatively, it could play out good for them, but it's still taking them to where they're vibrationally at. And that's why when you're in a relationship, in the beginning, you're both, oh, that's so great. And, it just you guys just do this to each other. I mean, you're feeding off each other, this synergistics, when you could just be like, I'm tired of this shit. And they could go even lower. It's nothing. It's either going to bring them back up. If you stay firm, it's either going to bring them back up. You can feel the pull when somebody's bitching at you, right, to go down, can't you? You can just stay up there and watch as they either go even further down and get pushed away, or they'll come back up and see clearly. I swear to God, it's amazing. So yeah, to the guy who commented, if you do watch this, it's cool if you don't. To anybody watching this, if you have a family, I will admit, I understand the concept because I don't have kids. And to know and not to do is not to know. Very, very fair. Which brings me to my point. I have lots of experiences of, here I am. There's no possibility it can work out. I feel good about doing it. I do it. It all worked out better. And my belief level that this is how life works is higher. So my ability to get more success and have it bring in right here where you can fucking see it, smell it, taste it, touch it, is even higher, and it's stronger and faster. Other people will be working at a job. And again, if you like working at your job for 10, 20, 30 years, that's okay. But there is one thing to say, maybe that's happening because you fear leaving. And you're not really as free as you wish you were in your head. I'm so happy, the freedom I feel knowing that I'm at a job, working for somebody, that I can just quit and it won't affect me at all, and then I'll leave and like I said, make 10,000 in the stocks out of nowhere. Like, that happened to me. That's how I left my job at Denny's. Everybody was snapping and freaking out, didn't care. I remember I was the only cook on a Saturday. It's a 2-person job. I just got this job. They left me alone and they didn't even put truck away. 2 cheeseburgers. Okay, let me cut the onions and the tomatoes. The burgers are frozen. The tomatoes and onions are supposed to be cut. I have to cut that and the lettuce and the burgers are frozen. And I got hundreds of tickets screaming out. I just felt good. And you know what happened? I had a whole Denny's. Fuck you! Fuck you! They all started screaming at me. And it's like, bro, I got this job, 24/24. I got this job. My coworkers bailed on me. They didn't put truck away. So there's just boxes of stuff that I have to rip open randomly on the ground in the freezer and the fridge that are in my way to grab a bunch of items to make one burger. And the burger's frozen, so I have to microwave it, or whatever. I think we had to microwave it before I could put it on the fucking grill, instead of just putting it on the grill and making your fucking sandwich. Same thing with every ingredient. And you know what I did? I said, well, when I focus on doing the job, I feel bad. When I focus on being happy right now, it's don't make this shit. And so I didn't. They didn't fire me. I ended up quitting because I made $10,000 in the stock market like the next day. That money came in, and I did not lower my vibe for my job. And so I ended up leaving that job with a brand new car. And my whole point of working at the job was because I went from Missouri and I was going to walk to Michigan because I felt that I was going to make it there. And I ended up getting a job in Illinois, which isn't that far away because St. Louis is like on the border of Illinois. Anyway, so I got a job at Denny's, and it all played out to where I'm driving to Michigan in a brand new car with thousands of dollars in the bank. Real life story. And I felt all that while being in the hood of St. Louis with no money and nothing, but I did have the ability to walk. And so I left to go across go across state lines. And it all worked out just like that. And I got all the money that I made working at Denny's. So I made $10,000, had the shit ton of money I made because they worked me every day. And I enjoyed it. But the instant I stopped liking it and I realized everybody bagged on me and dogged on me and purposely set it up to where a 2-person job is now a 1-person job, and the person's job to put all that stuff away is now my job as a 3-person job, I just felt good. And that resulted in me not even doing the job. And it all worked out. So I wish you luck. If you're watching this and you got family, feel good now. Don't make decisions when you're not feeling good. This is 5 minutes to learn, a lifetime to master. I'm not telling you to quit your job. I'm just saying, are you happy? I want you to be happy. That's the whole point of this video. I just want you to be happy. And if you're happy, you're a better influence on your kids. Because having parents, I see where you're coming from. The nobility, the honor, the whatever of you keeping a job and slaving away for your kids to be happy. Well, you know, what would make them happier? To have a happier dad or mom. And to know that they too can do what they want in life instead of having to be, restricted, feel trapped. You don't have to do that. If you're married to somebody and you have kids and the relationship sucks and you do, like I said, feel as good as you can, there's only a couple things that can happen. Maybe that person isn't meant for you. Maybe you were meant to meet this person and have kids. And you might say, well, what about the kids? Listen, your kids would have a better experience in this life knowing that if they fuck somebody and have a kid, they're not trapped too like you are. Because that's what we call generational curses. Like I said, it doesn't have to feel that way, 27. You could be in a great relationship. I got to end this because it's going to cut off any second. But you could be in a relationship and like I said, keep your vibe up and they might re-fall in love with you. You know what I'm saying? That you need to stay positive and happy every day consistently. And after a month, you'll see results. It can happen within a day or two. I say don't put a time limit on it. But I will say in a month, regardless, manifestations will come in proving to you that this is what you're getting because you're feeling great. And me and millions of others. Technically, there's nobody alive that can disprove this. That they have, like the dude in the comment section, if you're watching this, you stated it seems stupid for you to quit your job. You've gotten these promotions. You've been here for 6 years. It just seems idiotic. And plus, I don't have a college degree. And plus, it's so hard to get jobs these days. You know what I'm hearing? Lack of belief that you could get a better job. That's it. So if you quit, you won't get a better job. Raise your vibe up. And when you look back at this topic, you'll feel better about it. So focus on something that has nothing to do with a job. Love you guys.